Hi, everybody.
Hey, this is Dre Day Every Day, and I'm with
Bon 623.
Bam. And today we're going to talk about none other than video games.
Yes. Now, I only have two that I'm keeping up with. Okay, like one and a half, three.
Yeah, and I'm sitting over here. I have to get a tablet out to keep up with what I'm playing. But it's not, let me see, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm only like 9 games that I've actually played, and the rest of this stuff is upcoming and what I'm interested in that I haven't played.
Gotcha. Okay.
So since you have like 1.5, do you want to take the floor?
Okay, so I'm very much an on and off gamer. Like, I hang out in the mobile game realm a lot. Like, those little farming games where you have to like match the three or whatever, and then you can
Right. Have
love.
you heard to throw this in there? You heard of Stardew Valley?
I have. It's on Switch, right?
It's on Switch and PlayStation, but yeah, definitely look into that one. I play that a lot.
Got you. But other than that, the PlayStation games that I've been into is there's a game called I Am Dead. And
But you're
it's
alive.
no.
Nah, no, I'm messing with
And it's a very sweet game. It's very stylized, and you're a newly dead person and you're realizing all of these powers that you have, and you can go into people's memories and see what they thought about certain things or whatever, and help find lost objects. And very, very interesting. It's on PlayStation Network, I think.
you. Okay. Do
And
you know now? Do you know if it's from this year or is it just a game you're playing? You don't know if it's from this year.
I don't know.
Not saying it has to be, because I'm gonna kind of stick with the 2022 thing. Because but what I'm currently playing is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm about to put that shit down because I'm like damn near 30 hours into it, and I'm 30 hours into it, and there's missions that are locked behind. Get your camp to level 4, and I'm like, bruh, I've been doing other shit that all these when you cut it on, it's a bunch of lights and mission blocks. It's like, bruh, this game is fucking overwhelming.
Oh no.
Yeah. And
God.
as a matter of fact, I made that decision like this morning that I'm gonna put this shit down.
See, I think all of the games that I'm playing right now are probably a couple years old. I've no
Oh,
idea
okay,
when Dead came out.
definitely, yeah, that's cool.
But that one's more of like a hidden object kind of game, and I just love those.
Loved it. Okay,
And then
okay,
I'm on Persona 5 Royale,
okay,
and I've been
okay.
trying to beat that for a while now. Not because it's hard, but just like I'm very fair weather. Like, I'll play hardcore for a day, and then I'll put it down for weeks, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I still need to beat that.
Are you are you and your husband the lucky PS5 owners? Oh, y'all don't have the
We have.
y'all are?
Mm.
Yeah, because you know.
Hey, PlayStation
I
Nation.
did the, I did the weird thing where I got the plates and I got one white plate at the top and a black plate at the bottom
Mhm,
to make mine look a little bit different.
mhm.
I mean, plus it's kind of how this is like the white stuff, the white colors at the top, the black at the bottom. So kind of made my PlayStation 5 look like that.
I'm missing
Walking,
the PlayStation 1 gray color though. That's home.
I'm like, why have Sony not did that?
It
That's
brings us
what I'm
back
waiting
to
for.
our roots where we came from.
Yes, yes. And with this whole fascination with retro gaming, and now they're trying to bring old catalog back, it's just the perfect time to have PlayStation 1 Gray. I have two joysticks, one white, one black. I will buy a third joystick that is gray and a third set of plates.
Yeah.
But if I bought the gray plates, I'd do top and bottom with those and just use the gray. I would just use that and would not worry about anything else. But
Mhm.
yeah, I've been pretty upset that they haven't made PlayStation 1 great.
It's just a no-brainer. It's right there.
Yeah, and they want to give us black, red, pink, blue, purple,
I do have a purple controller though, because obviously.
Not saying there's anything wrong with it, but is gray too much to ask in the first run?
Maybe they think it's a low-hanging fruit, but it's the fruit we want.
Right. It's just like that gray. It's like gray is this foreign concept. You got black and red in there.
Yeah.
So,
And
well,
then my last game is Chrono Cross,
oh,
which came out
Chrono Cross.
in
Oh, the joint from
2000.
the Super Nintendo days. Oh no. That's Chrono
That
Trigger.
was
I'm
Chrono
tripping.
Trigger. Yeah, this is the
Okay.
follow-up, but they redid it. And so, of course, I had to get it because it's my favorite game ever. And I've never actually beaten it. And I'm still trying to. But it's another one of those games where I go hardcore for a couple weeks and then I put it
And
down
then
for
put it
months.
down. Right.
Now I just need to get back.
What what actually makes you put a game down? Is it more of the game or is it more life? Or is it kind of
Mm,
I'm playing the game and I'm excited and then it's like, okay, I've satisfied the itch and I'm good. Is it
between
what do
that,
you think?
because so that and life. So I'll play and I'll have like a good time. And then I'm like, okay, I've been playing this for 8 hours or so. My eyes are tired. Time to put it
Yeah,
down. Like
so,
I'll make a day at the gaming. And then
right,
like, okay, but now I have two businesses to run, so I need to go do that.
right. It's like, oh, hey, life comes knocking. Hey, can you
Yeah, it
remember
was like
me?
that was cute for a minute, wasn't it? Let's get back
It's
to
like, hey, remember me? I'm still going on out here.
yeah.
I I say for me, like I'm pretty good about keeping all of my things in order. But
Mhm.
like I said, like with the Assassin's Creed game, and it's not that I don't enjoy it. I actually love it. You know, like I said, that 30 hours just kind of went, but it's like I don't like the RPG open world format because
Mm,
they're talking about 100 plus 200 plus hours. Like, bro, I have a video game collection that's probably pushing 400.
yeah.
I don't want to be playing a game for 100. I don't want the 100 hours to be built in. Like, for instance, Red Dead Redemption 2, I've logged 1,189 hours in it on the online, but that was by choice. I enjoyed this game so much that I just kept coming back to it. Versus a game that puts all this content in here, you got to talk to all these people. You got to pick the dialogue options. You got to level this weapon up, that weapon up, level your legs up, level your arms up. Then you got to go and do this, and then you got to do this. It just feels like
It's too much.
it almost feels like the game is micromanaging me
Yeah.
versus me coming back to it for fun. So I put a game down if I start feeling like I'm micromanaged,
Mhm.
or if that's as a matter of fact to go into topic, um, I put down Ghostwire Tokyo because the Ghostwire Tokyo released this year. Really fascinating. I like the concept, but the way the story presents itself to you gives you a brief premise. Your people have been absorbed by this black smoke, and you're in Japan, which is a cool setting. Which and you're walking around and you're seeing cars that are still on, clothes that are just on the ground from people that were walking. It's fascinating, but there's like no urgency to it. It feels like okay, I'm doing this and I'm taking out these monsters, but it just feels like there's no urgency to. You have to save your sister, and then there's a possession that possesses you, and he has a beef with the guy that has a sister. It's kind of cliche a bit,
Mm.
but I ended up putting it down because it just felt like okay, I'm playing this, but I don't feel any urgency to it. So but my biggest disappointment this year was Horizon Forbidden West.
Mm.
Game hurt my feelings. But
Why?
I mean, so it's not a bad game. It's a good game. It's it's more of a lateral improvement from well, I ain't gonna even say improvement. I when I played Horizon Zero Dawn back in 2017, that went into my top three favorite games of all time. Concept, the lore, and figuring what was going on in the world. I was just so fascinated with that. And obviously, a sequel can't come through and impress you like the first. You don't get a second time at a first impression, right? They took typically when it comes to great franchises, they take the things that they did well in the first game and they focus on that, and they kind of cut out the stuff that, because the developers a lot of times consider, the consumer feedback. I
Mm.
don't know if Guerrilla Games didn't consider consumer feedback, but they just made they built on top of the same game. So everything that they improved, they it was a misstep within each improvement. So
Mm.
it's like they gave you, people were saying that they didn't like that there was limited climbing options, right?
Mm.
And now you have more climbing options, but it's still limited. So it's like you might say, hey, okay, like say Breath of the Wild. If you see something on Breath of the Wild, you can climb it. On this, you'll think, oh, I have more I have more climbing options, but you still have to soft press your focus pulse, and it'll show you these yellow lines, and it's like, oh, I can climb right here, but about 2 feet over to the right, I can't climb. So it's still it's still limited.
Mm.
And then they added more combat options, because on the first game it was just like an R1 swing and an R2 swing, no combos. They added like combos, so you go R1, R2, R1, R1. There's no fucking block button. And you're fighting enemies that have block button.
Right.
Yeah, it's just everything that they added. It, it it came with a detriment, and that just kind of soured it out for me. And plus, I feel like they're telling the story too fast. But it kind of broke my heart. I took my vacation for this game. I bought the big box collector's edition. I should have put it over here, but I'd have to move too much stuff. I bought the big box collector's edition. It's like $200, and it gave me a fucking steel book with no disc. That's the thing with the PlayStation 5 games. Like, if you're really into a series and want to go to like a collector's, one of the big boxes that come with all the little cool stuff, they're probably not going to give you a disc. And the reason is I get it and I don't. I get it, but it's still kind of whack, because they want the transition to be smooth. So if you're playing, say for instance, you're playing Horizon Forbidden West on PlayStation 4, you buy the collector's bundle with all the cool trinkets, no disc. You get a download code that gives you the PS4 and the PS5 version. So you can play it on PS4, potentially find a PS5, bring your PS5 home, and then transfer your data to your PS5. And it's just kind of like that. Versus if they give you a disc, it's either going to be PS4 or PS5.
Mm.
But I also call bullshit, because there have been games they released in the PS3 era. As a matter of fact, yesterday I found Assassin's Creed Revelations, and right here it says, "Here's the game," and it comes with another Assassin's Creed. So you can put the fucking uh, you can put the fucking PS. If you give me the PS5 disc and put the PS4 game on it as a code, and yeah, they have download. They could give me the download code, could be for the system that the disc is not based on. It's just ways that they could have did it. Because I guess I'm a dinosaur. I like physical media.
Mm.
So, but yeah, my favorite game this year has been Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Well, that sounds cool.
Man,
I haven't seen anything about
you
that.
ever seen?
Mm-mm.
So, do you remember the old fashioned beat 'em ups like Street Fighter? No, I'm sorry, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe,
Mm.
Fighting Force, PlayStation One. Nin- yeah, what did it have with the?
Fighting Force used to be my
Oh,
favorite.
you remember Fighting Force? Yeah, Fighting Force was so fire. But I actually have that on my PS3 too, by the way.
Really?
hmm So Tra- Ninja Turtles is in that vein. The
Mm.
one that was on Nintendo, Super Nintendo. They have like the mainline entries from the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and as a matter of fact, they're coming out with the Cowabunga collection that are the mainline entries that influenced the Shredder's Revenge. And since indie games are a big thing now, you got all these different genres and pockets kind of coming back to the forefront.
Mm.
But what they did was, in the old Ninja Turtle games, you have 4 players, and you can really do this in the arcades.
Mm,
And that's ultimately kind of like I think the main ones that influenced it. You know, you got four people standing next to each other versus at the house, it was two players, unless you bought an adapter to
mm.
play four players. But with this one, you can get online and have six players. So that shit is just really crazy when you everybody's fighting, everybody's doing their specials. The enemies are flying, they're bouncing off this side, that side. Somebody's throwing the guy at the TV.
Well, who's
Man,
the two extra players?
okay, so they used the four turtles.
Uh-huh.
They gave April O'Neil as a fighting character,
Okay.
Master Master Splinter,
Um,
and then after your first playthrough, you unlock Casey Jones. So it's a total of 7 characters,
gotcha.
and so Casey Jones is my favorite guy on there. But yeah, so that's been my favorite game this year. I bought it on Switch, and I beat it with Raphael's my favorite Ninja Turtle. Beat it with Raphael first, then I did Casey Jones, then I did Splinter, and then I turned around and did like Michelangelo, and then turned around and did Donatello.
Mm.
And then I was like, I got some PlayStation homies who might want to play, bought it on PlayStation, and then again beat it with Raphael, beat it with Casey Jones, and then beat it with Master Splinter. I didn't do the other two, but yeah, I've beat it so many times. I put probably the most hours in it. Just no, 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 no. I put 88 hours in Horizon Forbidden West. It was such a push and pull with, oh, this is cool. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Oh, this disappointed me. Yeah. So then, hold on, I got a few more. Of course, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, but that's basically Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, two old games that they up-res for PS5. I went through Uncharted 4 again because the movie came out in February, and I just wanted to. When my favorite stuff comes out, I will play the lead up to hype myself up to it.
Mm.
And they also, they released Sonic Origins, and that's the old Sonics from the Sega Genesis. It's like 1, 2, and 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. Did you ever get to play those? Did you have those growing up?
Yeah, they did that again on PS2, PS2, maybe it was PS3,
Yeah,
like a
they
whole.
they have the Sega Genesis collection,
Mm,
and then they did like Sonic Mania. I have that where they kind of did a remix with all the levels. The
mm,
thing with Origins that makes it cool is that those games were in full screen, so you got your black bars on the side.
yeah.
They made Sonic Origins in widescreen,
Mm,
so you can see. It spans all the way across the screen, and you can see more things come. Potentially a second. You can see more things coming,
mm.
but due to licensing, there's some music changed in Sonic 3. I actually share played this with a friend, and Sonic 3 is my favorite Sonic entry. And Michael Jackson has something to do with those musics.
Mhm.
And I'm playing it and I'm listening like, no, this is not it. To the point to where I actually got my iPod, pulled up YouTube, and had the actual music playing from YouTube to satisfy my little brain while I'm playing it on screen.
Mhm.
So Sonic Origins is cool. Is there anything that you're waiting on that's upcoming, or are you not plugged into like what's upcoming
I
with the
haven't
game?
been plugged in because we've also been playing a lot of board games lately.
Thought of board games?
Mhm.
I need to get on that, but my thing is that I need a consistent partner to to play boards. I'm sitting here
Well,
playing checkers,
and
sit
then a
on one
lot of
side,
games are more than two players,
more than right.
the two of us in the house. So that's been kind
Right.
of difficult too. But
Oh, so I know you like Harry Potter.
yeah.
There's a game, Hogwarts Legacy, that's coming. So Harry Potter looks like it's going to be open world. It looks really cool. It's on my upcoming list. I'm actually excited about this. This is going to be the first Harry Potter game that I get. And I've looked on YouTube, and Harry Potter games are kind of held in high regard by a little small pocket of people.
The Lego Harry Potter games are so fun.
The Lego games themselves are amazing.
They
I've
go
tell
off.
people
They
Yeah,
really
I
do.
tell people, yeah, I told someone, they said it looks kitty. I said, man, pick your favorite license,
Mm,
whether it be the Avengers one was good, the Batman one was good, Indiana Jones. Just pick your favorite license and just grab the Lego game of it. I promise you, it's gonna surprise you.
yes. I know a
Yeah,
lot of us in the Harry Potter community have mixed emotions about this one getting ready to come out because obviously it's fulfilling a lot of our childhood because we get to actually
right,
be in Hogwarts and do all the things. And they even have hairstyles for Black girls. So that's really
right,
exciting. But then it's also that money's going to go to J.K. Rowling, which sucks. But also, there was so many people, like all of the people that went into making the game, like the designers and the team for that, that you still want to support because they worked so hard on it. So,
right.
uh,
It's kind of the nature of the beast because it's like,
yeah. Am I
here's
still
my,
going to play it? Yes.
yeah, it's
But
like,
I
here's
hate
my
that
favorite
she's
thing
getting.
here. Here's these few assholes that had something to do with it. Here's my money that's going to this, and it's potentially going to this. I guess it's a matter of, I would, I don't know. I don't even know. It's like, hey, you either, I feel like if you like something, get it. Because the company that you support that possibly appears wholesome will have a silent asshole. And I
Mm,
would rather not support that person. The
mm,
rest is like, I know this person's here. It's like, you know what? Either way it go, we just not do anything if it was a matter of, I wouldn't buy this because this person's involvement is, we're going to have to contribute to people we don't support one way or another. Just like you could go out and vote for the president, and the president you didn't vote for got in,
mm.
and you still have to live in the country. It's things we can't get around.
Yeah,
But that's trash as an idea to sit and think. I just paid you. You know what I'm saying? So,
it sucks. But I mean, there's no consequence that we can give that lady. Like she's uncancelable at this point because she's already made all her money.
so I'm not plugged in. What did she do? Did she do something racist?
No, she's very transphobic and she could
Oh, okay.
just shut up, but she just keeps
She
going.
just keeps talking.
And it's just like, what if you just
Yeah,
let people live?
yeah. Let people
And
be
she won't. And it's just like, yo,
right,
it's ridiculous. But it sucks because Harry Potter was such an escape for so many of us because it was something brand new. It's
right.
just amazing. And now there's this beautiful game that they're coming out with that I saw. I did watch the interview with all of them and they worked so hard and it looks
Mhm.
amazing.
Oh,
But
so you were aware of it?
mhm.
Oh, I should have known better.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna know about that.
I should have known better. But yeah, so Harry Potter got me. Well, I was binging movies back in like between 2008 and 2010, and
Mhm.
Harry Potter. I said, let me give them a shot. And I've seen is it six? Where does I've seen all the ones before Deathly Hallows. So, and my favorite one was I believe Prisoner of Azkaban. It was like the third one. I liked it because it had like
That's
a
my favorite
slight,
too.
yeah, it had the slight or horror type of feel to it. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, this shit feel a little like it could get a little gangster. But
Well,
yeah, I
the
like that
interesting
one.
thing about Harry Potter is the first two movies and the first two books are kind of still cute and fluffy, and then it just
Uh,
goes downhill from there. And it's man,
oh, okay.
these are kids going through this.
This is right. So yeah, I'm really excited about the game. I got like the collection from the first up to the Deathly Hallows. Are there any movies outside of the Deathly Hallows?
There's the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Okay.
It's the same world, but it's not Harry Potter
It's
exactly.
not okay, so it'd be kind of like The Hobbit to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I check out the Deadly Hallows and then see how I feel about it. But I'm buying that Wars Legacy. That's day one by for me.
It
Another game,
looks so beautiful.
man. You have they showed the part where he's like in the classroom or something, and I guess they were practicing, and he was holding the person up with telekinesis and hitting them with magic. I'm like, bro, every single game that I've ever played that has telekinesis has been fire.
Mm,
Psyops, the Mind Gate Conspiracy, Bioshock, uh, Star Wars Force Unleashed. Even though they you were, it's called you're using the Force. The shit performs like telekinesis. You lift this guy up and threw him over here. All of that. I'm like, if telekinesis is in here, well, I got a game, Scarlet Nexus, that has a little telekinesis in it. That's just a fun feature to put in game. I can toss like a toy and shoot this other person too.
mm,
Yeah. So I'm gonna run down in the upcoming games. Well, let me see. I'll go through what I have played. So Horizon Forbidden West, Ghostwire Tokyo. I got Gran Turismo 7, and I like the whole racing thing, but they fall into the sports category to where it's like, okay, I just kind of play this. If I'm on the phone with somebody and they have interesting conversation, I'll turn on like a sports game or a driving game because I don't have to focus on any narrative. So
mm,
I just kind of bought Gran Turismo and it's kind of therapeutic too.
mm,
Sniper Elite 5, that's to me, they're cool. My dad plays them, and he's had me help him get him off a stage a few times. And I said, you know what, let me try it. It's not quite for me, but I guess if you like sniping games, it's there. They made Trek to Yomi. It's like a side-scrolling samurai game, and I came off Ghost of Tsushima in 2020 and
mm.
loved it so much that was my whole reason for wanting Trek to Yomi. And they even have it in the black and white format, so it kind of gives you that feel. There are a few technical issues with it, but it's not a bad game. I
Mm.
probably should have waited for a sale. The one of the major talking points this year was that Matrix Awakens demo. Did y'all get a chance to play it?
Mhm.
Man, that shit blew me away. Where it's like, okay,
I think
I'm sitting there watching it, you watching Keanu Reeves, and I'm like, hold on, that's not footage of him, that's game graphics. And then, you
getting
go into
fly.
that, yeah, you go into that whole thing, and so my first time playing it, you go into that, you get in that car, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch a movie. I have my joystick laying down, and then they start the shootout, and then I see the crosshairs on screen. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to play this. I have to pick up the controller up and start shooting, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? And it was just basically a demonstration of what Unreal 5 can do, but that little experience, I don't know, 10 minutes. Ooh, that shit was. I feel like even though it was just a demo, that needed to be spoken on this year.
Yeah.
And sad thing is they've already delisted it. So
Really?
like if you missed it, you can't play it unless you know someone who has it on their PlayStation. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Yeah, I
That's
don't know why. I've never seen a game demo get delisted. It was even 6 months. That wasn't even, it came out this year and it went this year. It's like, yeah, that was weird.
hmm,
But yeah, they delisted it. So like if you don't have it on your PS5, you're not gonna get it.
that sucks.
Yeah. Then as far as what I'm excited upcoming, God of War Ragnarok, of course. Um, the Last of Us remake, which is controversial because the original Last of Us released on PlayStation 3 in 2013, then PlayStation 4 released in 2014, and they put a remaster out. And now here it is, 2022, not quite 10 years, and we have a full-on remake for the PS5.
4 minutes.
And I was talking to a friend, the same friend I was playing the Sonic collection with, Sonic Origins. And we were saying that there needs to be some sort of thing in place to where remakes, remastered, well, a remake, not necessarily a remaster, because a remaster is like a touch up,
Mm.
but a remake, like you're building it from the ground up, wait 15 years before you do that.
I
You
could.
know, 10 years is it's kind of cool because it's a whole generation that fits in that. But I still think, like, from the people that have been around, it's
Mm.
like 10 years. It's like, bro, that was damn near yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that and two games that came out that I'm was interested in. It's a game called Seafood,
Mm.
and it's like it's another kind of one of the beat 'em ups, but it's in 3D,
Mm.
and they have this mechanic to where you get older. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like you start as a young guy and you end up getting older, and you have to.
Oh yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen Berlisium
you
there.
seen that? Yeah, yeah. I'm interested in that, and this game called Stray, where you play as a
A
cat.
cat.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get both of those when they go on a sale.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been having my eye on those. So. Oh, and I'm not a big COD person, but the Modern Warfare series is my series. I buy those regardless.
Mm.
The 2007 Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, when it first released, it ended up in my. It's matter of fact, it's still in my top 25 games of all time somewhere. Then they read 2 and 3 was cool. They did the Modern Warfare revamp in 2019. That is the first game that I played where I was sitting in like, bro, I was impressed by how the enemies
Mm.
killed me in some instances because they actually used tactics. This is one mission where you're on top of a building doing reconnaissance on the area. You see some people in the background running across the street, and you're just kind of like, and there's nothing to look at. So we're thinking that we're in the wrong spot. Next thing you know, we're over a field, a grassy field with lights. The lights start getting shot out and it goes pitch black. So we're up on top of the roof. The roof starts getting hit with grenades. So we have to get off the roof. We get off the roof. Those people are, we get to, I believe, your night vision on. The guys are when they shot the lights out, they went in the grass and were hiding. And they're just swarming at you. I got killed. And I was just like, bro, I'm fucking impressed
Mm.
how the enemy killed me. Because they use tactics. But yeah, so Modern Warfare 2, I'm really excited about that to see the continue how they expand on the first game. And I'm more of a story gamer than online, so
Mm.
I'm gonna be plugged into the story. It might not be online much, but I do look. And for the people watching that know about Call of Duty, some of those stories are off the chain. But some people just jump on Call of Duty and jump right online and say
Mm.
forget the story. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, I think that's. Oh,
We have 1 minute and
just
23 seconds left.
1 minute. Okay, last two. Plague Tale, Requiem, Callisto Protocol. I'm there for it.
Mm.
Those are the two games I'm excited about. See, I got the run in my mouth because he's one of my passion topics. So people gonna be like, he didn't let her talk.
Well,
I
I only
tried.
played 3 games, so.
Right. I mean, but I guess that's it. I guess we can probably do an update at the end of the year.
Yeah, when I beat these games, I'll tell you how they turned out.
Those two games.
3 games. 3 games.
All right, man. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.